Yo, what it do? What it do? Bam! It's another beautiful day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And you know what else it is? It's time for the hottest new podcast gracing your screens. This is Grind Time Live. As you coming in, go ahead and share. Share. If you ain't sharing this out yet, then you just being selfish. You just being selfish. You don't want your people to miss. You want to get you, your family, your friends, everybody you know on this one. I promise you, you don't want nobody to miss this one. But you know what? As y'all coming in, going on, throw some love in the chat, light it up, and I'm finna go on mix up the flavor tonight. And y'all know, I done fell in love. I done fell in love with that AP Plus, man. That OG with that lemonade. Well, I call it AP Plus, cause it's that Honor Palmer with that kick. But y'all, I'm finna go on and mix this up and give y'all time to share this out. Give you extra time to share this out while I'm mixing this up. And y'all know I gotta drop the music. But y'all already know what time it is. It's what? Get up and try. Go dominate this day. Every no recess right up. Okay. The mirror like time you ain't even trying. Read between the lines. To remain focused on your plan, type of Lord. Before you finish your ass, come on, time. See, ain't nobody no way to my shot. My shot hard. See what you make up. And we ain't taking no days out. Bitch, I said it's time to go to work. See, can't nobody get in the way of my shot. My shot hard. See what you make up. And we ain't taking no days out. Yo, what it do? Like I said, it's your boy, Mr. Grind Time, your host of the hottest new podcast gracing your screen. This is Grind Time Live. And I tell you, I got a special treat for you today. I got a special treat for you today. If I tell you, I've been following this queen since I started, and I'm hitting 4 years next week. Yeah, next week I hit 4 years, and I've been following this queen since then. Because she has such an amazing story. But she's a mentor. She's a coach. But she's one of the most humble people you will ever meet. That's one thing, like I said, I always say I like about this company, this family. No matter what goes on, no matter, no, it don't matter. We all still come together as a family. So, but I gotta tell you, God came through for me on this one. I'm gonna tell you straight up, because your boy Mr. Grind Time, I had slipped. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm no open, no transparent with you. As Rose Alvarado say, keep it hot. I had slipped. I messed around, and when I was setting up my calendar for September, somehow I missed this day. So when I realized I missed it, I went into a frenzy of trying to see who I can get to come and join me today. And some told me to swing for the fences. And so I went in this queen's inbox, and she's here with us today. So I got to tell y'all to light it up, give it up, show some love for the one and only Coach LaQuail Johnson. I'm adding you on now, Queen. But if I tell you, she has been so impactful for so many people in this company, in this business, and just in life in general, because of, you know, her knowledge, her wisdom, everything she brings is just gonna touch you in some way, because that's just who she is. But
Wow.
how you
I'm
doing?
great. I'm like, is he talking about me? Oh, wow.
Oh yes, I'm
Wow.
talking about this. I told you she's humble. She know. I mean, like I said, we're gonna get into her story in a little bit, but like I say, she's one of the most humble people you will ever meet. Like I said, I've learned so much from her myself, and she don't even know. I've been
Thank
following her
you.
behind the scenes since, like I say, since 2000. So,
Okay.
but yeah. But coach, how you doing today, though? Uh,
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
uh
I'm here. I woke up this morning, God is good all the time. And so I'm so honored to be here. I appreciate that you felt inclined to ask me, and I'm glad that you weren't afraid. I'm glad that you weren't, you know, you know how it is. So I'm glad, but I'm glad that you asked me, and I'm glad that you gave me this opportunity because what we do and what we're a part of is so amazing. And any opportunity that I have that I can share with people this amazing company, this journey. I've learned so much about myself over the last 9 years. I've learned so much about business. I've just learned so much overall. And so I'm always excited to be able to share and impart the things that I've learned and things that have helped me grow.
Definitely, definitely. And I will be honest with you. Yeah, I did have a little bit of imposter syndrome try to creep in on me.
Well,
I mean,
that's all right.
this is Coach
You
L
swallowed it.
too.
Thank you. But listen, I'm a regular person. I'm a regular person that God chose to bless in this amazing company. And so, I don't take any credit. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do. God set it up for me that way. And I just showed up and I didn't stop. And I think that's the biggest thing. When people look at, and I don't even want to say success in network marketing, I think business success overall, the area I think that people don't get to see that finish line that they really want is because they don't believe it's possible for them. And if it doesn't happen right away, then we get discouraged. And that could have been my story after 4 years of making what, $10,000 lifetime in 4 years. Go
Slow
ahead.
down, slow down.
Okay. Okay.
We ain't got there yet. We ain't got there yet.
Oh, well, go ahead.
we're gonna ease them into it.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take
Cause
the
like I
lead.
said,
I'm here.
I know your story is powerful. But I always start the podcast off like this. I gotta take you back to the beginning.
Okay.
The question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the products that originally got your attention, or was it this amazing business opportunity that got your attention first?
So I'm going to really be 100% honest. The way that I got started was not the usual way people start. And so I just got a phone call. I didn't know about the business or the products. I just knew the person that called me, that I trusted, that was already doing business. She was, Natalie Nicole, multi 7-figure earner. She was already doing business. She was already an entrepreneur. So I didn't need to know much because I knew her. She was doing my hair at the time. She was my hairstylist. I had met her through her father in the fragrance business. And when she called me about TLC, again, I had never heard of the company, never heard of the products, didn't know Jack Fallon, didn't know Coach Stormy. I knew nothing. I just knew her. So I just said yes right away. Because for me, working at Macy's, there was different times over the years that I would look for jobs in the field that I went to college for, and I could never find work in my field. And so for numerous times over the years, I always felt stuck. Like, is this the only thing I'm going to ever be able to do? Because every time I try to find something else, I never can. And so when I got the opportunity, I just jumped on it because I'm like, I don't see anything else coming my way. At that point, I'd been working at Macy's for 12 years. And probably, yeah, and probably 5 or 6 different times I tried to do something else to break away, and it just didn't work out. And so when I got that call, I just said, I just went full fledged. I didn't even know, it didn't matter what it was. I trusted her, and I'm like, if I know I want to do something different, I don't know what this is, but what do I have to lose if I'm already in a space in my life that I'm not fully happy with anymore? I don't have, there's no, this can't be a failure for me if I'm already not liking where I'm at.
Exactly. But that's how God works, though.
Yep.
We may be at the end of our rope with what we're doing, and at the same time, we're praying for something better, and that opportunity just come out of, as we say, it come out of
Right.
nowhere. But we know that was His divine plan.
Right.
It's just if you were ready to step into that calling, step into that
Mm-hmm.
what He had set up for you.
Yeah.
So I totally feel you on that because my story is a little bit like that myself. I knew nothing about TLC. I knew nothing about network marketing. Period.
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
and I wasn't even looking. Well, I had been praying for something better because I was driving trucks then.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm making money, and when this came up, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't thinking about it at all. It took me about 3 months of her constantly going back with me. I'm gonna tell that full story one day before I actually even joined the company myself. So I can totally understand you on that one. No, give me a second. Let me try to get her back. Not sure what just happened. But yeah, as you see, as she hadn't back on, but as you see, you never know who is gonna reach you. That's why I do this right here because somebody may you may be able to reach somebody that I can't reach. Like I said she had never heard of Coach Stormy, who was our number one income earner in our company. But yet she got here. Everybody, you can reach everybody. So that's where you bring your other people in and just franchise is what we call it.
Right. Well, one thing this is actually something that I learned through this process is being who you are is what makes you special. And so it took Natalie to be the one to bring me in this business. I can't say anybody else get could have reached out to me and I would have done it because number one, I didn't know anybody else. So it's, there's people for each of us.
Exactly. And like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why God put this on my heart to start this podcast because it's so many people out there. We got so many stories, but as people that they can only hear it from this person, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
they'll receive it more from this person. So yeah,
Right.
so that's why I started doing this so we could get it all out.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
can dig
let me ask you because I know you've been in for a long time.
it.
I
Mm-hmm.
say long time. It ain't been that long.
I mean, 9 years. It's been a minute.
It's been
It's
9
been a minute.
years.
Yep. 2015, July 1st, 2015.
Okay. And let me ask, what's your favorite product? What you on? What you using?
Right now, I would honestly say my favorite product is Blue Magic. Right now,
That magic.
I I love it, and I was never an energy drink person, but I love the flavor of it. It really helps me when I'm in the gym. So it's a great way. It's how I start my day, pretty much.
For sure, for
So
sure.
I
And
definitely love Blue
I miss
Magic.
seeing your transformation. I've been seeing you've been going in. You've been going hard. I'm like, oh snap! Check out
Yes.
Coach LQ.
Yes.
So
Listen,
mhm.
I'm 45. I can't, it ain't like how it used to be. So I gotta go at things a little differently.
I'm gonna come back to that. You say you're 45.
Yes.
You're not older than me.
I am 45. My birthday was August 3rd, 1979.
Okay, you got me by a couple of months. I did not think you were older than me. Like, I'm not even trying to, make a joke or anything. I did not think you was older than me. I really didn't.
45, baby.
Okay, and since you started this most most recent part of your journey, how much have you transformed? What has changed?
So, and I'm gonna say I don't use the scale as my gauge, because as a woman with hormones and different things, my weight fluctuates. So I look at pictures, I look at how my clothes feel, I look at how my face looks. And so what I can say is I know that I've lost a lot of inches. I probably lost in the past month maybe 5 to 6 pounds, but I can see a visible difference in my body even while I'm looking now at myself on the phone. I see a difference in my face. So I don't gauge the scale. I just gauge how I feel. I gauge how I look in the mirror, and I always take pictures.
I'm glad you said that because my brand is never satisfied health and wellness, but my motto is watch the transformation, not the scale.
Yeah.
So when you said that went totally in line with how I feel about it because at any time you can wake up in the morning
Yeah.
and because you drank too much water the day before, you can weigh 3 more pounds.
Yep. Yep.
But when you look at yourself and you be like, okay, I was this size on this one, now I'm this size on this one,
Right.
but the scale telling the same thing.
Right.
It don't matter because you're getting that body that you want. And with
Right.
that body you want, you're getting that mind you want.
Yeah.
So,
For
you bring it
sure.
all together.
Yeah.
That's why I keep that by it's 5 different aspects of health, 5 different pillars of health. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and financial. And one good thing about this family, this company, we focus on them all.
Very true.
Them all. But Coach LQ, oh, I never did actually officially welcome you to Grind Time Live. I did want to say
Well, thank
I
you.
I have to say I appreciate you for actually answering my message and my DM, because I know you be having them dudes sliding in your DM all the time. So
Oh my God. Not as not that much, but I don't, but you know what, I don't put out energy to attract a bunch of men slide in my DMs. But
it's a smile though. Your smile and your vibe and your energy should
thank
be
you. Thank
enough.
you. Thank you.
But okay, and I'm not even sure if you noticed, but I'm in your confidence builder boot camp.
Oh, you are. How do you like, so, and it'll be Monday, will be it'll be a month
Oh, it's been that
from
long.
when I started it on Monday.
Okay, yeah, I haven't been as active as I wanted to, but I get in there every chance I get, and reply to the messages. I watch the videos. I do all that. I'm
Good.
loving it. I'm loving it.
Good, good, good. That's what I like to hear. And I'm about to step it up. I needed to take a couple days just to, get my mind together, fill my cup, and do all of those things. So, yeah, I got some plans. I got
Yeah.
some plans.
And I was gonna ask you because you one of 1,000 Family's biggest trainers. So and plus you got the company's been a boot camp. You got your stuff going on. So you're constantly pouring into people.
Yeah. I do as much as I can, and I'm in a space now in my life and business. Focus was so my focus was so tunnel on TLC, and it still is. That's my primary. Now I'm in a space where I want to diversify and spread my wings a little bit. So, certain roles I've kind of stepped back from so that I can really identify what is it that I want now as a caveat to my life? Because TLC is not, I am TLC, TLC is me, but that's not all that I am, and that's not all that I do. So now I'm in a space where I'm looking more within to really discover what are the other things that God has for me, because for so long I didn't see anything else. So now it's time for me to, the whole point of having this business and being successful is to diversify, is to fuel your dreams. And so now I'm building other things in addition to build my dreams overall. So I can help people in so many different areas, not just in TLC. And I'm very excited about
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. But question though, how do you fill your cup though? You always pouring out.
Well,
How do
I
you
make
fill
sure it's definitely routine. I make sure in the mornings when I wake up, I listen to audios before I get on social media, I'm in group chats and my phone be blowing up all day long. From before I wake up fully, it's text messages. But I do my best to just pray, give God his time in the morning. I journal throughout, when I'm really have a lot on my brain that I want to get out, I journal, which is I want to, and I don't talk about this as much as I should, but I created this women's journal. It's on Amazon. It's called Breakthrough Vision Affirmations Journal. It has my keys to success. Journaling has been a huge part of my journey of being able to have a way to express myself. Sometimes, we have things we need to get off our chest, and we may not feel comfortable talking to people about what we're going through and how we feel and when we're in the moment. So journaling has always been something that's helped me get my thoughts out, get my emotions out at times, depending on what it is. The biggest thing, though, is understanding where I'm at mentally to know what personal development to tap into. Because
Oh,
there's personal development for your spirit where you're listening to sermons, you're listening to preachers, you're reading the Bible, devotionals. That's one area of filling your cup. But then another area could be just your own personal growth, as far as like, what are the areas that you need to develop in, whether it's confidence or belief or trust or um, discipline or not being a procrastinator. So then if I'm in that space, if I know, okay, these are the things I have going on, I need to now do personal development on this. Right now, as we speak currently, the space that I'm in is, okay, it's about to be the fourth quarter. This is like this is the wrap up for the year. Like, this is whatever happens between now and December 31st is really going to determine what your 2024 is. And so for me, it's okay. Summer's over. People are back inside. It's not going to be as much. People are back focused. People are back on their schedules.
yeah.
Kids are back in school. So now it's time to like ramp things up business wise. So now my personal development is going to be more business focused. So I actually, as today, I put it in the group, Jessie Lee Ward. She's an industry giant. She passed a year ago, and it was the anniversary of her moving on to the next life. And
Boss Lee.
when I was yes, when I was seeing people, share memories and things like that, she was an amazing woman. I was blessed enough to be able to see her and meet her personally, have conversations with her. I remember we did a group TikTok years ago at Eric Worre's house. When TikTok first kind of started
Yeah.
taking off, she was showing us how to do TikToks, and so but she was such a great trainer. She's such a great being. And so I went on her YouTube. I subscribed yesterday to her YouTube, and I made a playlist of a lot of different videos business wise that I know that I need and that I want to share with other people, to develop in business. So I think the biggest thing is when it comes to filling your cup, know where your cup is lacking. Like, know what needs to go in the cup, because personal development is all great. All personal development is good, but if it doesn't speak to the area of growth that you need, it's just good information, but it doesn't evoke change. So you have to be personally aware. You have to be self-aware. You got to know who know you to know where you are and what you need in that in the specific season you're in for your growth.
Message.
There was a time, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I just want to say message.
Yeah, there was a time that maybe confidence was what I needed to work on. There was a time that procrastination was something I needed to work on. There was a time discipline. So there's different things. And so it's just really looking within saying, okay, how am I feeling? What do I need right now? Where am I lacking? Okay, I know I need to kick things up business wise. So now let me focus on business prowess. My spirit, I feel good spiritually, and I'm still going to do those things in the morning to set the intention for my day. But now I know when I want to tap in throughout the day to grow, business is what I need to be focused on right now.
For sure. And like I say, when I met you, you was already 5 years in the business. Uh, so I didn't catch the part where you had to build your confidence up.
Well, the thing this is, and this might really help somebody. Before I became an entrepreneur, I had high confidence. I never not had confidence. Becoming an entrepreneur, things like imposter syndrome, things like comparison, things started to arise up that I wasn't used to feeling or experiencing. And I had to then I had to realize that I was judging myself based on other people. And then and I had to come to the realization, probably I would say maybe 2018, 2019, I had to come to the realization that God wasn't going to bless who I was trying to be like. God was going to bless who he made. And so
Ooh,
I had to operate in the person that God made, because God wasn't going to bless my representative. He was going to bless me. And
like that
and
one.
thank you. And being me is what makes me great. Being you is what makes you great. And for a while, I lost sight of that. I forgot that being me was my superpower, because nobody can do things like I can do them. No one is like me. And when I try to be like somebody else, it's so much harder to try to uphold a standard that's not your standard.
Yeah, I actually ran across a post earlier today and said God made you different, but you keep messing it up trying to be trying to be like somebody else. So yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
there's so many ways to do things, and it's not feeling like I have to do it like this person does it if I want to succeed. Because if that was the case, then there would only be one person in every high position in life. Think about it. If you're in the music industry, okay, if you don't sing like Beyonce, you're not going to make it. Well, Beyonce is not the only successful singer.
exactly,
And
exactly.
so it's just I had to go through that process of really, number one, accepting the fact that I allowed myself to let outside things affect how I felt about me. That was the first thing. I had to say, okay, you're letting what people are doing, you're letting how people look, you're letting this and you're letting that make you feel bad about yourself. No one is doing that to you. You're doing it to yourself. So it's not about this person, it's about you. So one thing that I knew over my journey, when things weren't going the way that I wanted, there was always something I could change, because I can't control anything outside. I can't control what's inside. And so whenever things weren't going the way that I wanted, I just always knew to look within, because if I change this, then all of the outside will change anyway.
And that's what made you a magnet for the people that came to you, huh?
Well, I didn't realize until I started walking in who I am and not trying to do or be like someone else. Then I started realizing how many people needed me,
Mm,
that could relate to me, that felt, that may have been looking at everything the same way I was and feeling like they didn't have a place. And then when I stood up, people were able to find their place as
exactly.
I found my place.
Yes, yes, and that's one good thing about also what we do in this company. As you're working and finding yourself and building yourself, you can also bring along other people along with you on your journey. And they build themselves, and we all build together. It's not just
That's so
about
true.
one person getting up top and just looking down on everybody else.
Hmm.
No, the highest person to reach down and try to bring the lowest person up, because That's what we do. You
Yeah,
know, we trying to see you elevate, not de-escalate.
right. Well, and the thing is too, you know, when we put ourselves in a box of feeling like things have to be a certain way, we really block out the things that are good that can come inside. Like sometimes we build this box of not wanting to do things a certain way or make a mistake or do something wrong, and we're protecting ourselves in this box, but we're also blocking out all of the good things that can come in to our lives and to our thoughts. So I'm glad that I made a decision, because there's somebody, I'm sure there's people that probably felt like I felt and then made a decision to just not do it because they felt like they would never measure up. They felt like they could never get there. It's just like when people, like I love when people say that network marketing is a pyramid or a scam. And the first thing, and even when I wasn't making any money, I said to people, I've been working at Macy's. I've worked at Macy's in different capacities. I was a cosmetic manager for a makeup counter. I was a part-time seasonal employee when I first started. Then I was a cosmetic manager. Then I stopped working for Macy's as the store, and I was a vendor. So I worked for different companies inside Macy's. So I represented a fragrance brand in Macy's. I represented cosmetic companies in Macy's. So I did so many things, but I knew how to work through, like I knew all of the things. It didn't matter how good of a job I did. I was never going to make the money that the CEO of Macy's was making. I was never going to make the money as the general manager. And so I understood that from the beginning. Like, no matter, and I've always been a good hard worker. I've always been a team player. I've always been the person that would show up and do what's necessary. And I still was never going to make that level of money. And so to me, it's the business structure. It's not even about, oh, that's the pyramid. Only the people at the money, only the people at the top make money. Well, wherever you work, that person, the CEO of that company, they make the money. They don't give you an opportunity to make the same money that they make. The
Exactly.
the structure is not developed that way. And so I knew that from just common sense. So when I would hear people say that, I'm like, okay, how long have you been working your job? I don't care how many raises you've gotten. Are you making the money that the CEO makes?
Exactly. Because you'll never make the money that working for somebody, you'll never make more than the person over you. And I
Right,
learned that. I've been working since I was 15 years old. So yeah,
right.
I came to understand that a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago. But you know,
Right, 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 right.
we got to think you got to get a check. You know, we got to have that check, and that's what keep a lot of us from even stepping out. That's just like with this
Mm-hmm.
podcast. I saw it's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
out there. God put this on my heart a year ago, but I was, like, what if it don't work out? What if nobody don't ever show up? What if that's what I was doing
Mm-hmm.
until this year. I just said, you know what? I hear you. He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you one more chance. That's what I'm thinking. I'm here. I'm like, he gonna give you one more chance. So I went ahead and just did it, and since I've been doing it, I love it. you know. But if you don't put yourself out there, you just continue to stay with the society norms. You'll never know what you can accomplish. You'll never know where
Yeah.
you can climb to. And I can guarantee you, though, if you at a job, you're not going to be CEO. You can almost guarantee yourself
No.
that. But you can come here and be the CEO of your own business.
Well, and one thing that I think is so important is a lot of times we talk ourselves out of so many opportunities. We, just like you said, what if it doesn't work? What if, but the thing is, we have to ask ourselves, and I've asked myself this too, why do I never think, what if it does work? What if this becomes the biggest podcast in the world? What if this becomes, like, why don't we ever think about the what if it does? And it takes the same amount of energy to not do something as it does to do it. And
Yes,
so it's just, it's deciding which side, because it's not going to be whatever you want in life. If you want anything of any merit, it's not going to be easy. You got to work for it regardless. So you'll either work to stay at the same level or you'll work to advance, but you can't avoid the work. And sometimes people are afraid of the work, like Monica said, and fear. But see, fear is those what if it doesn't, what if it doesn't. And so the real thing with fear is to get to the bottom of where the fear came from. Because usually whatever you're afraid of, it reminds you of somewhere else that you tried something and it didn't work the way you wanted it to. And so those emotions from that past event is what you bring into the current circumstance. So it's
Yeah,
really making sure that you heal from that so it doesn't affect you here.
definitely, definitely. Because I can just like, okay, I can. That's a good point. You just actually made me think about it, and me holding off on this podcast was kind of my fear of public speaking that you wouldn't believe, Mr. Grindtime is an introvert, so I'm not. I had to create Mr. Grindtime to be able to do stuff like this because, like, if you go back and watch lives from 4 years ago, it's not the same person
That,
because I've
that's
grown.
good.
I've taken the time to, invest in myself, my personal development. Like I say, I'm following people like you, Coach Stormy, Coach Natalie, Coach Tion, and Talentia. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I follow quite a few coaches, and I basically take pieces from everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing people miss is you have to become the person to attract the success. When I started 9 years ago, since you weren't, you didn't know me at the beginning of my journey, I remember very vividly, when I joined, Natalie had businesses. She was doing her branding. She was doing a lot of what she's doing now. She was doing then on a different scale. She had a nonprofit called Women Who Boss. And so she was working in that realm a lot. And I was there to support. And so on Sundays was our team Zoom. And so I learned the business, I learned the back office, I learned all the things that I know. And so I did a lot of those trainings on Zoom for our team back then, but I would never turn my camera on because I didn't want to be seen. And I was the one training. So that's just like me and you doing a live right now. And I'm talking and I'm giving the information, but you can't see
Yeah,
me because of my insecurities. I had to become the person. So I had to, like, when people say, I don't want to go live because I'm scared of it. I said I had to ask myself, do you want to be successful or do you want to be scared? You got to pick one. And I had to pick one. I had to make a decision. I never used to go live. I never would go live on Facebook, and I would never go live, period. I used to be that person. And so, one thing I always tell people, anything that you've ever experienced in your network marketing journey, I've experienced from the highest highs to the lowest lows. I'm the person that made over $2 million, but I'm also the person that didn't make any money for 3 years. And I wasn't, and my 3 years was me consistently working on my business, not just doing it here when I felt like it or whether I wanted to. No, I really was trying. I was really trying. I was failing forward, but all of it was necessary because I was learning. I was getting tougher. I was getting a thicker skin. I was dealing better with the rejection. I was attacking the things that came about, whether it was the imposter, whether it was the comparison, whether it was I'm not good enough, whatever it was, I just continued to overcome those things because I knew there was somewhere that I wanted to get to. And in my mind, one thing Eric Thomas said, and I could relate so much, is don't cry to quit, cry to keep
yes,
going. If you already crying, get your reward. And I really felt that because that was the truth. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to keep going and not see the results. Nope, that's not easy for anybody. But when I looked at, okay, so if I stop doing this and not and I don't like, I'm not gonna say I don't like, I know the life that I live is not the life that I want for my future. That's not better. Me stopping a possibility is not better to go back to what I already know I don't want.
yeah,
And sometimes we'll quit before we get there, but really not be happy. because we made a decision to do this for a reason. Everybody that joins network marketing, that starts a business, it's a voluntary situation. Nobody makes you do it. You make the choice to do it because there's something that you want to achieve when you made that decision. And 9 times out of 10, if you stop doing it, you still aren't going to achieve the things that you want to achieve if you know that you saw this as a way to get there. So that was me. I'm like, again, I didn't know what I was joining when I said yes to begin with.
I feel you. I feel it's just like I made a post actually because I've been getting stronger into my Bible reading, and I recently finished the story of the Israelites,
Okay.
and I made a post. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you quitting on your dreams. It's like the Israelites when they were in the desert and they were saying, I say you quitting on your dreams and going back to where you were. It's like the Israelites when they were in the desert and said because it got too hard, they would prefer to go back to Egypt and back to slavery. It's the same, pretty much the same thing. It pretty much applies right now. You going back to the place you was trying to get out of, the place you've been praying for something better to come to get you out of that. But it's not as easy as you thought. So you want to go back to your comfort zone. You want to go back to what you knew. And I fought with myself on this a couple of times. Actually, I quit driving trucks twice. This was my third time, and this was my last time. But I quit. Said I was just gonna do this. Business dried up. What I did, I ran back. Came back out to
Well,
work. Uh-huh.
now I must say this when it comes to this business. Um, Everybody, and I'm not saying you because I know that for part of the journey, the way that things were presented, it was like if you don't do this full time, you can't succeed in it. And that's not
Mhm.
true. And when I stopped working at Macy's is when I fully replaced my income in a multitude. I wasn't like I made a couple $1,000s. I'm like, I'm quitting my job. No, no, no. I, I made sure that I was able to every single month pay my bills before I decided to quit my job. But that's not everybody's dream. And people can I know plenty of people that work and act that work a job that still make 1,000 to $5,000 $6,000 a month on the side with this. So I don't ever want anybody to think. I never tell people to quit their job to be successful in this,
Nope.
because everybody doesn't have that same hustle to do that. If you know that you're going to go out there and do what it takes, yes, but if you don't have that grit, and if you don't, there's nothing wrong with that. Hustle is also a skill that you have to
Yes.
develop.
Yes.
Hustles, and a lot of people that naturally have it got it from scarcity, got it from lack, so it was still something they had to develop because they had no other choice.
Yes.
But it's still a skill set. And so don't feel bad about doing, like, going back. Just when you make the decisions, and not and it's sometimes it's not even really backtracking. It's just putting things in perspective and adjusting to the times and pivoting with the times. Things are different. There was a time when it was the pandemic, everybody was scared, so everything was flowing in a whole different way. The way that I work now in my business and the way that I worked before is not the same. I, it's a little bit more intentionality, and that's okay. And that's why you always have to still continue to become. I became the person to have the success that I had, and now I'm becoming the person for my next level of success. And so I never stop evolving. I never stop growing. I never stop wanting to grow. I get excited when I start to feel too comfortable. I have to push myself out of that comfortability. And so that's why I tell people, like, if you're always relying on somebody to keep you motivated and inspired, you got work to do.
Yes.
Because if that person leaves or that person stops, where is that going to leave you?
Definitely.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
I had to get to the space where I wasn't relying on Natalie or Coach Stormy to be my motivation. I had to be my motivation. I had to look at the things that I want in life and be willing to do what it takes regardless.
Definitely, definitely. And let me go back. I would never tell anybody to quit their job before they're ready. When I did it, it was a personal choice. I
Right.
prayed about it. I meditated on it. Trust me, it was a lot of thought went into it before I did it. But I also knew I had other things already working. Like I'm a certified
Right.
personal trainer also, so I got
Right.
that working. And I got little gigs that I can do if
Right.
I just need to pick up anything extra.
Right.
And of course, keep product on hand, so I'm making sales
Yeah.
out here while I'm doing, so yeah, it took me a lot to actually get to the point to where I was, let's say, bold enough to do it. But I knew that God didn't want me out there. I knew He wanted me to focus more here. I mean, it's. I talk to Him a lot. I talk to Him a lot. I'm just gonna say that
Good. Good.
all day.
As you
Yeah,
should.
and yeah, I just had the feeling that now I'm on the right path. I'm on the path that He
Yeah.
set for me. So no, I'm not. Don't quit your job. Don't sign up tomorrow and quit your job. Please don't. Because actually, you can use that to help. You can actually use that. Cause one, you can use your job to fuel your dreams, and two, you working a job, you're around people, them
That's
prospects.
what I was just about to say. That's what and I shared that on the training. When I first got started, my customer base were the people that I worked with.
Uh-huh.
My first business partners were the people that I worked with. Like that, when you're at a job, you already have a network. And no matter what, I don't care. Like, and this is for anybody that's listening to this that has maybe you have a business and you're interested, but you don't know how to bring this into that. Everybody that needs health and wellness. Every person that in life, if you go to their home, they're taking some type of vitamin. Okay. They're taking somebody's vitamin for sure. They may not be drinking a detox, but they're taking some type of vitamin, a bunch of supplements, some type of specific vitamins they're taking. They're drinking somebody's coffee, whether it's coffee they're making at home or coffee they're going to buy every day. They're doing something for energy. They're either drinking energy drinks, they're taking 5 hours, so we have products that when you go to somebody's home, I don't care who they are, you're going to see something that they're consuming, that we have something that's better than, I'm going to say, that you can make money from. And so I think that's the piece that people miss when they have another business. Well, how do I do this with that? I'm like, you have to realize whatever business you have, you're meeting people. People need our products, because when somebody's health is challenged, nothing else matters.
Exactly.
If you in the hospital, it ain't about your job. It ain't about none of that other stuff. It's not about your hair business or your clothing business or your real estate business if you're in the hospital.
Exactly. And I used to make an analogy. And I'm gonna show my age with this one, but y'all, if you remember The Simpsons, Mr.
Yes.
Burns was the richest man
Yes.
in Springfield,
Yeah.
but his health was
Yep.
terrible, so he couldn't
Yep.
really enjoy any of the money he had. Even though he had more money than he would ever be able to spend,
Exactly.
he could not enjoy it.
Right.
And
Right.
that's where, like I say, that's why I say we work on all five aspects of health, not just your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, and your financial. You can get it all here.
And
But
the mental and the physical, I'm sorry, the mental and the spiritual is really what's going to help the physical. Because even when I look at how I looked 3 or 4 years ago, I was making a lot of money. I was also highly stressed. I also had a
mm,
high level of anxiety. And when you look at me, if you look at pictures of me, I was bigger. My face was bigger because I didn't realize my body was holding on to so much stress and so much anxiety that it was making it challenging for me to lose weight. Now, I made a decision a couple of years ago that I want to have a healthy lifestyle. Like, of course, every year we get older, things ain't how they used to be. And so
mm,
we got to do better in taking better care of ourselves. And that's the decision that I made for myself, because I love our products, but the products should make you want to make better choices in general. Like I
Ex-
just made some banging shrimp Alfredo with spaghetti squash with mushrooms and spinach. Ooh, it's so good.
all
And I made some egg bites for breakfast.
right, what's the
Well,
address? I'm on my way.
uh-uh. And I made egg bites for, but I haven't, it's, I never adopted being excited to make healthy meals. I would do it every now and again, but now I'm like excited. Now I'm finding, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make that. Like it feels so good to really live a healthy lifestyle and not try to force my products to work through my mess.
Yes, that was a great segment you just said. A great line. Not making your products, forcing your products to work through your mess because you're making better choices. And
Yeah,
that's what these products do. They don't. We don't. Like I say, we don't make any miracle claims. You know,
right.
it's not a miracle cure. But what they do is they enforce that you wanting to make better choices later. It helps you make better choices. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. Because when you feel better, you want to do more. Like when you start cleansing and you feel lighter, you'll find energy that you didn't know you had.
Yes, yes,
When
yes.
you take your inner, when even with NutriBurst, people, I mean, I know NutriBurst is not for energy, but sometimes we're so unhealthy that giving our body that liquid boost of nutrients gives us a burst of energy. And so now you feel more inclined to go for that walk that you usually would be sitting on a couch like I don't feel like it, or get on the treadmill or whatever have you. So to me, especially at the beginning, the products for me was like the cheat code. It gave me a little bit more physical motivation to go and do something active, to go walk the neighborhood, something simple like walking around the block a couple times.
You better say it. That would used to be my line. This is the cheat code. That was my line right there.
See, there you go. It was meant for me to say it to bring it back to your remembrance so you can keep
Yeah,
using it.
yeah. But okay, coach. I've held you long enough, but we do appreciate you. But before you go,
Yes.
I know you great at doing this because you live in it. So give the
Okay.
people just one thing to take with them.
All right. I'm actually due two. The first thing is lessening your efforts will never increase your results. So no matter what you want in life, doing less is not going to get you more.
Mm.
So if you find yourself doing less than you should be doing towards your goal, don't expect the high results with the least amount of effort. That's the first thing. And the last thing is just because you don't hear their applause doesn't mean you don't have their attention. Make sure that you are doing things with the right motive in mind. If you're doing things to be recognized, you're never going to really get there. But once you do things with the right motive, all of the things that you desire, you're going to get anyway. So don't think because the people are not clapping for you, because you're not getting the support from your friends and family, because nobody sees your vision the way that you see it, that doesn't mean they're not paying attention. They just want to see, are you going to really see through all the things that you said you were going to do? So those are my two nuggets.
Coach LaQuail, you are the bomb queen. I just wanted to make
Thank
sure
you.
that I said that to you as
I
face to face that
appreciate
we
it.
can get right now.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. Make sure you send me. I don't know how. I guess is it just saved on the page? I don't know. I don't do Facebook Lives with people, so I'm not sure how it works.
Oh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna after this I go back and I download it into my phone and I upload it to my YouTube.
Oh,
So
perfect. Okay.
yeah, so it never goes. I make sure it never goes away.
Okay. Cool. Well, I love it. I
And I'll
love it.
send you that
If you,
link, and I post it
yeah.
on here, and I'll tag you in it. But I also send it to you directly to make sure you get
Okay. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Well, have a good night,
it. You too now, and
and
I'm
I'll
finna
see you
go
later.
on.
How do I get
Oh
this?
no, no, hitting the wrong button. There we go. Alrighty, y'all. That was the one and only Coach LaQuail Johnson. And as y'all see, like I say, God came through for me on this one. Because like I say, I had slipped. I ain't have nobody set for this week. And he delivered Coach LaQuail to me. And I'm like, only by the grace of God that I was able to pull this off. Because she actually, I just got in touch with her Monday. So, yeah, he came through for me on this one. But as you see, we all come together because it's all about helping others, helping people increase their health. Like I say, through all five of the, five pillars of health, which is mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial. We hit them all here, and that's because we know, we've learned through personal development that if one of those five pillars are off, your building is going to tumble. Your building is not going to be as strong as you need it to really make the moves that you want, to really elevate like you want. So get them all together. And you can do that with us at any time you're ready. If you heard anything tonight that sparked your interest, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Coach LaQuail. You can reach out to a like this. Find your nearest life changer and tell them you wanna start, either you want to start the business or you want to start the products or you want to get started something. If you want to get started, if it's on your mind, don't even think about it no more. Just do it, like Nike. Because like I always say, I ain't got nothing but love for you, fam. And remember, God loves you. Peace out.